So in theory, a person walking by, you can start a conversation with them, be like, "Hey, I really like your earrings. Where'd you get them from?" Customer will say what they got them from. They'll tell you how great it is, whatever, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I have a necklace that matches that exact same pair of earrings. Do you want to take a look at it?" Customer's like, "Sure, sure, sure." You get them in the store, right? That's in theory. In practice, here's how the interaction goes. "Hey, I really like your Hey man, that's I really like that chain around you. Oh, sorry, I'm busy. I'm busy. They either ignore you, they pretend that they don't see you, or just look at you with a blank stare and keep walking past you. Ladies and gentlemen, please, for the love of God, do not work at a mall. Thanks for watching. But on a serious note, so I'm only speaking in the jewelry industry. I was hired to do jewelry, sales, whatnot. And I don't know about you guys, but oh my god, am I loud? It's just I don't know about you guys, but every time I saw these salespeople, I thought, damn, they must get hella money. They must be rolling in that shit, right? And first of all, that's not true. But second of all, we'll get to it. And third of all, we'll get to it again. Jesus Christ. Listen to me. It's all a lie. They're lying to you. They're not making shit. Okay? Not making shit, but they're making money, don't get me wrong. But it's not okay. But okay, I'm getting way too ahead of myself here. I'm sorry guys. I just came back from the gym. This is what I wore to the gym by the way. Okay, let's take a trip to the past to 3 months ago. So I had a position at Home Depot, which is a great company to work at, by the way. Seriously, if you're considering Home Depot for some reason, like, I'm telling you, it's a great place to work at. We really are like the Orange family. And okay, listen, I know how that sounds. It's kind of silly. You come in HR, for first day hiring procedures, whatever. And, you hear talking about the Orange family. I was like, okay, dude. All right, the Orange family. Okay, but seriously, really chill job, really easy job, and I got paid good for my standards at least. Because prior to that, I was working at Arby's. We have the meats. God damn it! Even though I was a manager there, I was still not getting paid. Crazy. Obviously, I mean it's Arby's. Funny story actually. While working at Arby's, there was like a month time frame where it was really slow. So I thought about getting a second job. I ended up going to Chipotle, got hired, and I quit after one day. No lie. Because going from Arby's, which is dead, it was so slow. Like people I would ask my friends, "Yo, do you want to come work at Arby's?" And they look at me like, "Arby's, dude, what are you?" Like they looked at me like I was some like subhuman like piece of filth, basically. Okay. And I'm like, dude, I get paid to just sit around and do nothing. Okay. You're the one fucking working at Chipotle. Okay. And the difference between Arby's and Chipotle, insane. Insane. I was used to like multiple times throughout my shift at Arby's having free time. But Chipotle was like, oh my god, like, I need the rice. Give me the rice right now, you fucking moron. Give me the rice. Getting off topic here. So I like Home Depot, but the only problem is that I was in sales, and I really enjoyed sales, but I got no commission. And I didn't like that because I'm like, yo, I could do more, and I should be getting paid more for kind of what I'm offering here. I think because when I work, I don't just try to put in. I'm not just there to like clock in and clock out, and that's it. Like I try to like as much as I can, right? Simply because a lot of the times it's just because it's just boring to me to just do nothing. Okay. So we came across this jewelry store, which I'm not gonna name them because I'm about to rip on them throughout this entire thing. So I'm not gonna, it's very unprofessional of me to put their name on there. So my girlfriend and I were passing by, and she was like, "You should apply there." And my confidence was so low at this point because I feel like no one wanted me, like no one fucking wanted to even give me a shot at like a real sales position. So I'm like, I don't know. There's no way that I'm gonna get it at a jewelry store because in my head I'm like, that's like a great job, obviously, right? Not obviously, but we'll get into that. So I ended up going in, and I ended up getting hired. Blah blah blah. But something really important during the interview, during like the original interview, I prepared for that shit like a motherfucker. Like, I'm so good at doing interviews now. But that's neither here nor there. Also, quick little tip, just while you're here. During my interview time, they asked me to fill out this this questionnaire, basically, right? And one of the questions was, "What's your expected, like hourly wage?" And I was always told, and I still stand by this. It's probably pretty good advice to just go to shoot for the moon. So if you fail, you at least land at a star. Pop smoke type shit. So I put like 21 an hour, I think, and then she was like, "Okay, we can't do this." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I kind of expected it. What can you guys do?" And she said, "Okay, we can start you off at 14.50 an hour, but with commission." And she specifically said this. She said, "With commission, you'll probably be looking at like 23, 24, 25, $26 an hour." I'm like, "Oh shit, bad. Needless to say, it was not 26, $25 an hour. So I started, and not gonna lie, I love dressing up like this, like with like the jacket, with the not with the shirt, but with the jacket, with the ties, with the suit pants, with the I like dressing up like that, me personally. And this job required me to do so, so I'm like, okay, bet it up. And there are two issues that, and I know that this is generally like mall oriented, but, and I'm only speaking from my experience, but almost, I mean, dude, just look at fucking mall employees. Okay, do they ever look like they want to be there? And half of them are probably stoned. Okay, so the first reason was, I mean, the pay was not good, like whatsoever. The commission structure was, if you reach your sales goal and the store reaches its sales goal, you get 1% of that. Now, when I first heard that, I'm like, oh, 1% of what the whole store makes, like per month. And then she's like, no, 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 of what you make per month. And I'm like, okay. My quota for that month, starting off, was, I believe, $5,000. So I'm getting $50 if I reach my sales goal for the whole month. Okay, I'm like, okay, and even like the highest commission goal, like sorry, like sales goal that I saw anyone else get, I think it was 12,000. So this is again for like our top seller. So you get 1% of that. That's $120 for the month. Like, this is not even for the week. This is for the month. Even for the week, I mean, it would still be good, right? I'd be like, okay. I mean, that's doable. But for the month, are you crazy? Like, what the fuck? And the main way, if you ever worked at a jewelry store before, you'll know that how you mainly make your money on commissions is on warranty, right? And the warranty was disgusting. So how we did the warranty was, you would get the item price, get 17% of that added onto the original item price, and that's the warranty. Like, sorry, that's the price with warranty. So the warranty was 17%. So let's say you sold, the biggest sale I made there was a $2,000 ring. We didn't get much sales, which I'll get into. Trust me. Don't even. I'm gonna flip out by this fucking next section. But let's say it's $2,000, $2,000 ring, right? Times 17%, so that's $340. So the warranty is $340. What I would get from that, or whoever would sell it, would be, I want to say, 13. If I'm not it's anywhere from 7 to 13% of that. So let's go in the middle somewhere and say 10, right? So times 10%, so that was $34. So for granted, most of the sales we made were just kids fucking just Oh my god, this is another thing. Like kids, just I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, I used to be that kid, but kids that obviously have nothing else better to do, they just want to go out but can't afford anywhere else, and they just walk around the fucking mall. Okay, most sales we made were anywhere from like $100 to $600. Okay, holy shit. What was I saying? Oh, okay. So to even on a $2,000 sale, which is again like exceptional, like it's like a pretty, I mean, it's a pretty big deal when you sell anything over a grand or two, right? It's a really big deal. So you get like $34 on a $2,000 sale, and again, you know what? Let me just go into this next thing right here. the the biggest issue, the biggest issue out of this whole, you can forget everything I just said until now. Everything. You can just forget, wipe it from your memory. This is the sole reason not to work in a mall. No one goes in the store. Okay? Now you might be like, what do you mean, Ariel? Like, what do you mean no one's like, no one went in the store. Bro, it was cooked. Like oh my god. It was miserable. Miserable because no one would walk in the store. It was just hours of standing there, just like smiling and the people walking by, whatever, and no one comes in the store. And then meanwhile, you have your manager behind you, constantly like on your back, like you can literally like feel them breathing down your neck. As like, are you gonna help them get in the store? Are you gonna, I forgot what they call this, but it's like fishing for customers. Basically, you stand in the lease line, and then people that walk in the mall, because we were one of the first stores when you enter the mall. That people that walk in the store are coming out of it or just walking past. You're supposed to get them to come in the store. That never happened. It never happened. I remember. Also, by the way, real quick thing. Every employee that I worked with, my God, the camera quality just like died on me. Sorry. Okay. The I was gonna say the camera quality. Every one of my coworkers was great. Seriously, again, like great people. Seriously, great people. Really supportive. Really helpful. Really whatever. Okay, but it's simply not realistic to pull people in from people that are walking past. So the district manager would always come in, not always, but like regularly come in every now and then, and every time she would be like, she would look at the people at the lease line, like at the workers, and be like, why aren't you pulling people in? And then we're just like, oh, I remember my first time that happened. That was not like, it was mentioned during the interview process, but in actual day-to-day working there, my manager never told me like, hey, Emily, like bring people in. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? And then the district manager will play out these scenarios, which were really good scenarios in theory. And here's the issue. So in theory, a person walking by, you can start a conversation with them, be like, "Hey, I really like your earrings. Where'd you get them from?" Customer will say what they got them from. They'll tell you how great it is, whatever. And then you'll be like, "Oh, I have a necklace that matches that exact same pair of earrings. Do you want to take a look at it?" Customer's like, "Sure, sure, sure." You get them in the store, right? That's in theory. In practice, here's how the interaction goes. Hey, I really like it. Hey, man, that's a really nice pair of. Sorry, hey, man, that's I really like that chain around you. Oh, sorry, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. They either ignore you, they pretend that they don't see you, or just look at you with a blank stare and keep walking past you. Man, I'm so glad I left there, and I've never done that in my life. Like both serious jobs that I've had for 1 year, and then the other one for 1.5 years. So I'm definitely not the type, except the Chipotle. That was well, listen, man, I was just not ready for that. The Chipotle was kind of wild, but I just didn't fucking. That place sucked. It was hours and hours and hours of just looking at people, looking at the time, hoping that the time will reach by, and nothing. And then people, I remember that my I believe it was my manager or people around me in general, when I told them like, yeah, I'm not selling anything, like I'm not selling shit, they'd be like, well, what are you doing? Like, are you doing it correctly? Like, let's do a scenario, like a role play scenario. And I would do it, and I'd be great. Like, I'd pass with flying colors. Like, I'd be doing exactly what you're gonna say to them. You know, you try to get them in, try to know a little bit about themselves, why they're getting it. You put the jewelry on them as soon as possible. You get a mirror for them. You make them think about how, if they're getting it for themselves or for someone else, how they'll feel. And if they're getting it for like a mom or like a girlfriend or something, that they how they really deserve it and all that. Like, I know that, like, I know what to do. I did research on this. Like, I'm not just going there blindly. Okay, and even I couldn't get shit. I couldn't get shit, boy. I remember my okay. I'm rambling now. I'll wrap it up soon. But I remember my biggest sale was like a $3,400 ring, and that happened like almost like immediately. Like, that happened like a week or two after I joined, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, and it made me feel really good. And then a couple days later, she ended up returning it, and I was like, okay, fuck this. Oh yeah, guys, but don't work at a mall if you can't avoid it. Obviously, like, okay, this is obviously, if you're at a point where you need a job and the mall's the only thing, obviously go for it. But I would rather you start gambling or stripping, okay, before you work at a fucking mall. But that's what it is.